We live in a rapidly changing world. Microchips under the skin, digital IDs, AI that watches everything. But when the Bible talks about the mark of the beast, is it just warning us about a chip in the hand? Or is there something far more dangerous?
When the Bible talks about the mark of the beast, it is indeed 100% warning us about the microchip. When the Bible talks about the mark of the beast, it is indeed 100% warning us about a chip in the hand or forehead or anywhere implanted into your body. The microchip is the mark of the beast. The mark of the beast is the microchip. Shalom. Giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well in all truth and sincerity. Shalom, peace and blessings to the hopeful elect, the house of David, starting with the 144,000, followed by the 1/3 remnant. Shalom. All right, so this is a major prophecy, man. You know, you see everything that's going on, all right, in these end days, in these last days. You know, with everything going digital, AI taking over, all right, digital currency, scan to pay, tap to pay, you know, all these digital ways of paying. Cash is slowly, all right, being done away with, you know. So this is a major prophecy, man, the mark of the beast, the microchip, man. It is indeed the microchip. It's not talking about anything far more dangerous, or this is the end all be all for the elites. All right. The microchip to get everybody chipped, man. All right. So this lesson, all right, is going to be centered around the mark of the beast prophecy, the microchip, Revelation chapter 13, verses 16 and 17, man. And 18 too, but you know. So the mark of the beast is the microchip. People try to say, oh, the chip has something to do with it, but it's more than the microchip. It's deeper than the microchip. No, man. All right. It's all about the chip. That's the end goal of these elites, man. All right. The end goal of these elites is to have everyone implanted with a microchip, all right, to where you can't be redeemed. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans who are the true Israelites, all right, you can't be redeemed on the first go around, man. All right, because that's what the mark of the beast is. It's pledging your allegiance to the beast. It's saying that the beast is your God. You're worshiping the beast by receiving his mark, which is the microchip. It's not sin. It's not an embargo. It's not Christianity. You know, it's not none of that, man. It's not a spiritual mark. It's a physical mark, which is the microchip, man. All right. So let's get into it. So, of course, we're going to start with the feature scripture, right? Revelation 13. Let's go there. All right. The mark of the beast is the microchip, man. This is a major prophecy. And if you're skeptical about, you know, if you're not 144% sure that the mark of the beast is the microchip, then more than likely you're going to take it, man. All right. You're going to make excuses, find excuses, and try to justify you taking that chip. All right, which is the mark of the beast. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 13, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. So let's get this word for mark in verse 16. All right, which we know is what? Charagma, or charagma, as some say. All right, Strong's G5480. All right, charagma. It says a stamp and imprinted mark, all right, of the mark stamped on the forehead or right hand as a badge of the followers of the anti-Messiah. All right, the mark branded upon horses, so showing you it's a physical mark. When it's cause that's what the mark of the beast is. It's the beast. All right, which is NATO, EU, along with America. All right, these elites, starting with these elites. You know, the elites, the Rockefellers, the Rothschilds, because that's who control everything now. As far as sovereignty and rulership on the earth. Of course, we know Yahweh Shema Shah controls everything, including them. All right, but he's given the earth over unto their power, man. All right, he set them over the earth. All right, meaning giving them rulership because we sin. All right, it says the mark branded upon horses, and that's what these elites are doing, man. The microchip is them marking their property, because you know you would when you have a lot of when you have livestock, you know, you brand your livestock, you mark your livestock, which is your property. So you would tag them, you know, and they still do to this very day. You know, that's why you see cows and, you know, branded. They have that little tag in their ear. It may be red or yellow, or, you know, farmers they've branded their cattle. And that's what the mark is. That's why it's a physical mark. It's a microchip. It's the beast branding their property, because you become their property. You worship them. All right. When you take that microchip, man. All right. It says thing, carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images. So it's a physical mark, man. All right. A graven image. All right. Strong's, it says a scratch or etching, i.e. stamp, as a badge of servitude. All right. Or sculptured figure, statue, graven mark. So it's a sculpted, you know, graven mark. So you have to be, that's why it says thing carved, man, because it's a physical mark. All right. You got to have that sharp, back in the ancient world. All right. To make their idols, you know, they had to have something with a sharp point to, you know, to sculpture, to sculpt, all right, the image that they wanted, man. You know, you had to have something with a sharp point. And that's what the microchip is. That syringe with the that needle with the syringe on the end, man. The implantation device, which is the syringe. That's that sharp point, man, that's gonna pierce your skin. All right, puncture your skin. All right. So this is what the mark of the beast is, man. The microchip, charagma. It's a physical mark, man. All right, it's a physical mark. And when you get the root word for charagma, all right, Strong's G5482 is charax. Further proving, all right, that it's a physical mark. You see the word charax. The root word of charagma is charax. It says from charasso, to sharpen to a point, akin to through the idea of scratching. Yeah, man. You know, that sharp point. All right. It says a pale stake palisade. Yeah, man, like a stake you drive in the ground to hold, like when you have a fence or something. All right. Or even today, like, to give an example in today's time, all right, a modern example, all right, like when you putting up a tent, all right, and you want to hold that tent steady in the ground, you put what in the bottom, all right? You put a stake, all right, because when you tying the strings down, or you might have poles or whatever what have you, however that tent is made, you have to have stakes, man, to drive into the ground to hold the tent in place, so the wind won't come blow it over, blow it away. You have to have that stake, that pale, that palisade, meaning something with a sharp point to drive into the ground that's attached to the tent to hold the tent in place, man. All right, that's that sharp point. All right. Matter of fact, let me show you. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's go to Google Images to show you. What did it say? Pale, stake, palisade. Let's get some images. Pale, stake, palisade. Let's see what it gives us. Look, man. See right there? All right, you see those sharp edges? That's that Koroks, man. All right, see that? You see this on the screen? I hate this. You see this, man? All right, you see those sharp edges? All right, that's that Koroks. All right, that's that Koroks, man. All right, that sharp point. And that's what the microchip is, man. All right, that's that syringe. All right, matter of fact, let's go back to the scriptures, because let's get this Luke, the 19th chapter. We're going to go to verse, I think it's 43. Luke 19 and 43, I'm going to go straight to the point. For the day shall come upon thee that thine enemy shall cast a trench about thee and compass thee round and keep thee in on every side. So this is all right, the Messiah, also Lord and Savior Yahushua. He was prophesying that Jerusalem was going to be basically conquered, all right, invaded, all right, and sacked by the Romans, man. All right, and how they were going to dig a trench. All right, and keep everything in and everything out. Nothing was going to come out and nothing was going to go in, man. They were going to dig that trench to trap the people in, man. Like I said, nothing coming in, nothing going out. And to dig a trench, you have to have something with what? A sharp point, man. You know? So let's get this word for trench. It's going to be the same word, man. All right, you see? Koroks. All right, to dig that trench, you got to have something with a sharp point to drive into the ground, man, to get that dirt out of there, man. All right. So this word here, the root word of karagma is Koroks, man. And that's that syringe. All right. You see it on your screen now, man. You got karagma. All right. You got karagma. All right, you got the root word of that, which is Koroks. All right, so that's that syringe that you're seeing. All right, that's the implantation device with that sharp point that's gonna basically drive the microchip into your body, wherever, no matter where you get it on your body. Like I said, it's gonna pierce your skin, puncture it, and implant that microchip, which is like the size of a grain of rice, man. So that's that syringe. All right. And then the root word of Koroks is grapho, meaning to write. All right, and as you see on your screen, all your medical records, your history, all right, your criminal record, all your records, all your information is going to be on this microchip, man. All right. The word grapho goes into to write, and all your records are going to be basically written or kept on this microchip, man. All right. That's why you're going to have the chip to buy or sell. It's going to have how much money you got up there, everything you spend your money on, where you're traveling to. All right. So all your records are going to be on this chip, man, which is going to be connected to one big cloud. All right. Database. That's why you see all these data centers being thrown up, man, everywhere, man. And people are in an uproar about that. That's what these data centers are for, man, because these people are going to, billions and billions of people are going to be chipped. And they're going to have databases, man, around the earth with people's information. All right, it's going to be connected to everyone's chip. It's going to be connected to these databases, man. That's what these AI centers are all about. All right. All right, the wicked new world order. All right. So that's what it's all about, man. You have Karagma, you have Koroks, and you have Grapho, man. You know, a plain breakdown that you see on your screen. So the microchip is the mark of the beast, because that's the end goal. Like I said in the beginning of the lesson, that's the end goal of these elites, man, to get everyone chipped. All right. And I'm about to play an interview that Aaron Russo did with Alex Jones. All right, and Aaron Russo was very tight. He was very close with Nick Rockefeller, whom now they try to say didn't exist, never existed, and that Aaron Russo was making it up. But, you know, and then all of a sudden, Aaron Russo, he drops dead. All right, supposedly cancer, but we know how that goes. You know, we know they you know, well, we can't prove it or whatever, but you know, it's a good chance that, you know, they silenced him because he came out with that interview and revealed all of that, man, which I'm about to play, because that's the end goal of these elites. They want to get the birthright back from Jacob, and they're going to attempt to do that by having everyone chipped, man. All right. So I'm about to play the video between Aaron Russo and Alex Jones, telling you all about the market trip, and that's what these elites want, man. You know, these bankers, all right, they want everyone chipped. They want everyone marked. All right. So without further ado,
I had a friend, Nick Rockefeller, okay, who was one of the Rockefeller family, and he, when I was running for governor in Nevada, he came to me, introduced himself to me through an attorney, and we became friends. We started talking about things, and I learned an awful lot from Mr. Rockefeller. And one of the things that we used to talk about was the ultimate plan of the banking industry, what they wanted to accomplish. And the goals of the banking industry, not just the Federal Reserve System, but the private banks in Germany and England, all over Italy, all over the world, they all work together. They're all central banks, and they're all part of the Communist Manifesto. You know, central banking is one of the major planks of the Communist Manifesto. We talk about America being a capitalistic country, but yet at the same time we have a central bank that plans everything for us, right? And the graduated income tax is another plank of the Communist Manifesto, right? So right there you have two major planks of the Communist Manifesto that have been brought in because of the Federal Reserve System, okay? So the ultimate goal that these people have in mind is the goal to create a one world government run by the banking industry, run by the bankers, and they're doing it in sections. The European currency, the euro, and the European Constitution is one part of it. Now they're trying to do it in America with the North American Union, right? And they want to create a new currency called the Amero, right? And the whole agenda is to create a one world government where everybody has an RFID chip implanted in them. All money is to be in those chips, right? There'll be no more cash. And this is given me straight from Rockefeller himself. This is what they want to accomplish. And all money will be in your chips. And so instead of having cash, anytime you have money in your chip, they can take out whatever they want to take out whenever they want to. If they say you owe us this much money in taxes, they just deduct it out of your chip digitally.
Total control.
Total control. And if you're like me or you, and you're protesting what they're doing, they can just turn off your chip. And you have nothing. You can't buy food. You can't do anything. It's total control of the people.
And that chip's connected to a database that has your purchasing records, what you do, what
Everything.
you sell.
Everything is in there, you know? And so they want a one world government controlled by them, everybody being chipped, all your money in those chips, and they control the chips and they control people. And you become a slave. You become a serf to these people. That's their goal. That's their intention.
so there you have it, man. All right, there you have it. You know, that's the end goal of these elites, man, these bankers. All right, your Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Oppenheimers, DuPonts, Gettys, that bunch of crowd, man, that's who's controlling everything, man. All right, they want everyone chipped. All right, that's the mark of the beast. So let's go back. Let's go back to Revelation, the 13th chapter. Revelation 13. And I'm going to jump down to 18. Revelation 13 and 18. It says, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man. And his number is 666. Now, when you go into 666, all right, 600, 6, that's what 666, right? So it's chi psi stigma. All right, and we're gonna get the we're gonna look it up. All right, in the Greek, it's chi psi stigma. All right, 666, right? All right, so when you get the root for stigma, all right, it says to stick, i.e. prick. That's the microchip, man. That's you being stuck. You being pricked with that syringe, man. Cause they got it. That's how they gonna implant you with it, man. They gonna stick that syringe in your hand or your head or arm, leg, wherever you get it. All right, and implant you with that microchip, man. All right. So to stick, i.e. to prick. It says, you see outline of biblical usage. It says a mark pricked in or branded upon the body. Whoo! So this is further proof, man, that the mark of the beast is the microchip, man. 666, chi psi stigma. Stigma goes into pricking, man. You know, being marked. Like everyone might say, oh, he has a stigma of you get stigmatized, or you know, meaning you're marked. You're stuck with it, man. This is what like basically like you've been marked. All right. A mark branded in or upon the body. To ancient Oriental usage, slaves and soldiers bore the name or stamp of their master or commander, branded or pricked, cut into their bodies to indicate what master or general they belonged to. And there were even some devotees who stamped themselves in this way with tokens of their God. Man, that's that stigma, man. That's that microchip. This is what's coming, man. And it's going to be made mandatory and punishable by death, man. All right. So stigma, man, further proof that the mark of the beast is the microchip, man. Even going into this number, chi psi stigma. Stigma goes into being pricked, cut into, man, branded. All right, which is the microchip. You see it in the Strongs. It says stigma from primary stizo, to stick, i.e. prick, a mark incised or punched for recognition of ownership, scar, or service. Mark. Yeah, because when back in the ancient world, when you know these when you had a master and his slave, all right. If a master was about to release his slave or whatever, you know, if the slave like his master, like what the master had given him, and maybe he started a family under that master or whatever. All right, when it was time to go free, the slave would say, well, you know, I don't want to go free. You know, I want to be yours forever, which is basically what's going to happen with the microchip. When you take that microchip, it's basically you're saying to these devils, the wicked, these elites, the bankers, that you're theirs forever, that you're their property. You want to be their slave. You are willingly choosing to be their slave. All right. You don't want Yahweh Shem Yahushua to be your master. You want these devils to be your master, man. All right, so let's go back to Exodus 21 and 21. I think it's around like verse 6 or verse 9 to prove that, man. Because this is how slaves mark their property, man, by branding them, man, tagging them. All right. Exodus 21. And I start at the top. You see the subheading, ordinances for the people. Exodus 21 and 1. Now these are the judgments which thou shalt set before them. If thou buy an Hebrew servant 6 years, he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. If he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife shall go out with him. If a master have given him a wife, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her masters, and he shall go out by himself. This is the point, verse 5. All right, getting to the point. The point is in 6. All right, but getting to the point, verse 5. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free. Then his master shall bring him unto the judges, and he shall also bring him to the door and unto the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. And that's what the microchip is about, man. This is microchip is people being tagged, man, by the master, man, which is the beast. That's why it's called the mark of the beast. This is how the beast is going to tag his slaves, his servants, his property, man, by implanting them with a microchip. All right. So the mark of the beast is a physical mark. It is the microchip. It's nothing else, man. The microchip is the mark of the beast. All right. Because also, when you go to Galatians to further prove that it's a physical mark, the 6th chapter, the Apostle Paul said he bore the marks of Yahweh Shai, right? Which were physical marks. Let's get it. Galatians 6 and 17. This is the Apostle Paul. Galatians 6 and 17. From henceforth let no man trouble me, for I bear in my body the marks of the Lord Yahweh Shai. And the Apostle Paul was talking about he was scarred with physical marks. All right. All right, which proved his servitude and his loyalty to Yahweh Shai. He had the battle scar, so to speak, war wound, so to speak, of how he suffered. All right, because he was serving Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. He had the physical marks to prove it, man. You know, the Apostle Paul, he was stoned. He was beaten, whipped. He was cast into prison. He was shipwrecked, man. All right. So he had physical marks, you know, that he bared. All right. All right. To show his servitude to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. All right. That word is stigma. As you can see here, Galatians 6 and 17, the word for mark is what? Stigma. The same word, man. You know, the same word. So it's a physical mark, man. That's what the microchip is. You know, a physical mark. The mark of the beast. All right. So a lot of people are going to get this mark, man. This is the mark of the beast, and you're not going to be able to buy, sell, do anything. You're not going to be able to function in society without it, man. All right. And there's going to be martyrs, meaning, all right, some of the elect are going to be beheaded for not taking the microchip, the mark of the beast. All right. That's why I say, and he calls it all that would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. Let's go back and get that in Revelation. I think that's verse 14 or verse 15. Let's see. Revelation 13. Yep, and 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. Yeah, worship his image, meaning you, everything that he's pushing, you're down with. That's his system, his society, his way of life, man. You know, and part of that is what? The microchip, the mark. Because you have the image of the beast, the mark of the beast, and the number of the beast. They're three separate things, but they all tie together. 666 is the number of the beast. It's not the mark, but it ties into the mark. That's why I got that word for stigma. All right. The number of the beast ties into the mark. All right. You know, 666. That ties in with buying and selling, because that's, all right, when you see a barcode, you see those three long lines, one at the beginning, all right, a long line at the beginning, a long line in the middle, and a long line at the end, and you see shorter lines in between those three long lines. That's that Casa stigma, man, buying and selling, barcode, man. All right, so it all ties in together. The image of the beast is not an image or a photo of white Jesus, man. The image of the beast is his system, his society. All right. And if you don't do what they tell you, you're not going to be able to function. You're not going to be able to do anything in his society. You're going to be outcast, man. You're not going to be able to conduct any business of any fashion, buy and sell, trade. You won't be able to do nothing, man. You won't be able to have a house, any goods. All right. Nothing. All right. And some are even going to be physically, like I said, put to death, beheaded. Because that word kill also goes into outcast from society. That's why I said you won't be able to do anything. All right, you won't be able to maneuver and function in this world, man, which is a good thing. All right. So that's what the image is all about, man. It all ties in together. All right. So they're going to be martyrs, man. But that's an automatic crown. That's victory, man. All right. The Israelites, the elect, all right, that gets beheaded for not taking the microchip, the mark of the beast, that's an automatic crown, man. All right. So this is what's coming, man. This is a major prophecy, man. All right. And a lot of people are going to bend the knee. They're going to fold. All right. And it's going to be to their destruction. They're going to be confounded and had in derision. Let's get Isaiah 36 and verse 6. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, which is now, all right, America. America is spiritually Sodom and Egypt, Revelation 11, pursuant to Revelation 11th chapter. All right, and many people trust in Egypt, meaning the government, you know, this world. They trust in Egypt to help them, man. That's why these people are crying to their government, you know, about how bad things are. Instead of relying on Yahweh Shem Shah, they'll rely on men. They'll rely on their government, man. And that's what they're going to do when it comes to the microchip. Because it's going to be made mandatory, man. They're going to say you cannot do anything without this chip. And billions of people are going to bend the knee. All right, but the Lord said he had preserved 7,000 unto himself that have not bowed the knee to the image of Baal. All right, meaning the elect are not going to bend the knee, man. They're not going to get in bed with this devil, man. All right. Isaiah 36 and 6. Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh, king of Egypt, to all that trust in him. Yeah, man. You know. So this system is done, man. It's a broken reed, meaning it's no help for this place, man. This place is finished. It's about to fall, man. We're seeing the collapse now in real time, man. So this system, all right, this beast system, it's a broken reed. This whole fourth industrial revolution, new world order, digital age, transhumanism, all of it is a broken reed. It's not going to save you. It's only going to destroy you, man. That's what it means when it says it's going to go into your hand and pierce it, man. All right. You know, it's only going to destroy you. It's not going to help you, man. But a lot of people are going to be deceived, thinking that this is how they're going to survive, that they're doing a good thing. All right, by getting a microchip, man. But it's only going to lead to your destruction, man. And it's no repentance for taking that chip, the mark of the beast. Let's get Revelation, the 14th chapter. Revelation 14 and 9. All right, this is the judgment for taking that chip. You see the subheading, doom for worshipers of the beast. Revelation 14 and 9. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb. And the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. That's what, like I said, they all tie together. The mark of the beast, the image, and the number, man. All right. All right. So there's no repentance for taking the microchip, the mark of the beast, man. You're going to be destroyed. All right. Because you've chosen the beast as your God, you know. So you will be destroyed. There is no repentance for taking the mark of the beast, for getting the mark of the beast, man. Regardless of what people tell you, man. All right, there is no repentance for taking the microchip, which is the mark of the beast. All right, so this is the agenda, man. This is the goals of these elites, is to have everyone chipped. All right, for their new world order. That's the end game, man. And you have to resist by all means necessary, man. Under no circumstances should you take the microchip, man. If you have to be put to death, take the death, man. All right, and that's what the elect is going to do through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Shah if it come down to being beheaded, man. All right. So do not take this chip, man. This is Esau's way of trying to fulfill his God complex. He wants to be like Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. He want to be able to track everybody, know what everyone is thinking, how they're feeling, where they're traveling to, what they're buying. All right. They want to be like the Most High. They want to be like Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. But it's all going to come to naught, man. All right. So don't take the microchip, man. The microchip is the mark of the beast. Do not take it. I pray that this has been edifying to the elect through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who teach and rule well in all truth and sincerity. Shalom, peace and blessing to the hopeful elect. The house of David, starting with 144,000, followed by the 1/3 remnant. A Baba Shalom.